Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Canisius University for the Class B finals of the Monsignor Martin Championship. I'm Ryan Gall alongside my partner, Tom Prince. And Tom, we got a classic matchup, two veteran programs led by Brian Legge of the Cardinal O'Hara Hawks and Jason Rowe, longtime coach of the Timon Tigers. Looking forward to a great matchup. What do you expect here tonight in this Class B finals?
This should be a very fast-paced game. It's something we're going to look at, the pace of the game. Two, look at the length of Timon. Timon has some length to them that it is something that Cardinal O'Hara is going to have to deal with out there. Now remember this, they played twice already this season. Timon's got 2 wins against Cardinal O'Hara already. The first one was the very early in the season. They won 84-50. Second game, they win 65-59. And I'll tell you, the one thing that this O'Hara team is they are scrappy. They really are. They're going to fight and claw for every single thing that they're going to get. They're going to keep themselves in this game because of what they're going to do. You know as well as I do, Coach, it's going to be, if you're a scrappy team, means you play defense, means you're going to make sure that you are there for every shot. You're going to contest everything out there on the floor. And that's something that you're going to see Cardinal O'Hara do well out here tonight.
And how important those points are, Tom Prince. And again, a great matchup here. The Timon Tigers, both of these teams looking for an opportunity to represent Class B in the state championship and right the ship to their seasons that closed out with tough losses. Timon Tigers closed out with a tough loss to Nichols, and the Hawks lost a tough one to St. Francis. Here they go, opening tip-off for the Class B representative in the Monsignor Martin. Tigers off the tip. Lay it in nicely there. There's number 10 for the Tigers. Marquise Harris open up the scoring for the Tigers. Kicked out on the perimeter. There's the baseline triple. That's off the mark. Here come the Tigers in transition. Harris. Huff swings it back over to Harris. Little high-low action, kick back out, good deflection, hands there by the Hawks.
Nice look from Vasquez down to Insera down there, right in the paint, and Insera saw he didn't have that shot, kicked it back out. But if that's open, that could be big, especially if that opens up that paint for him.
And you see the Hawks here in their 2-3 zone defense. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Tigers have it on the right wing. Swing it back to the top to Harris. Harris back over to the left side. The long triple is off the mark. Controlled by the Hawks. Eli Channing. Channing over the timeline. Swings it over to the right wing. Back over to the top for Channing. Channing setting the offense here for the Hawks. Good man-to-man defense here by the Tigers. Down to 15 on the shot clock, and that one's thrown out of bounds by Channing and a turnover by the Hawks.
Yeah, he didn't realize the double team went with him right there. So you saw the defense go with him. Open man was cutting to the basket. He just couldn't see him real well right there.
And good defense there by the Tigers in their half-court set. Here they are back in their offensive possession, their third one of the evening. Harris opened up the scoring for the Tigers. That's the only points of the evening so far for either club. There's the baseline triple off the mark. Offensive rebound and the putback there for the Tigers. Number 11, Jason Huff.
Huff averaging 17.6 points a game. That's a big 2 right there, and that's the length I talked about. See the length how he went up and be able to get that rebound and then the putback right in.
And Tom, you talk about the length. He's also averaging 4 rebounds a night, and there's one for him on that offensive putback, second chance opportunity. There's a good defensive block there by number 13 for the Tigers, Jordan Vasquez, the senior center. Hawks get it back over the top of the key. Harris with good defense and pressure. Forces a tough pull-up jumper, and that's off the mark. Here come the Tigers in transition. Pushed up the floor, Harris trying to corral it, kicks it back inside. Vasquez loses the handle, and here come the Hawks back over the timeline. Channing back on the right wing. That's Alvarez. Alvarez back over to Channing. Channing swings it over to the left side. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Good defense here by the Tigers. And that one shots off the mark. The Tigers corral the rebound, and here they are, pushing over the timeline with a 4-0 lead. 5 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. There's the long three from downtown, Jason. With a 4-0 shooting lead. Guard. 5 minutes remaining here in this first
I'll tell you
quarter.
what I've liked so far. This is the first time we've seen right there Cardinal HARA
the
dribble
long
penetration into the
three
paint.
from downtown.
We haven't seen anything into the paint. That's been the difference between the two teams right now. Those easier shots have come right now for Timon.
And we had a little technical difficulties there for a moment. Solidified and corrected quickly by our operating staff. Great job by them. And here we are. We got a timeout with 4 minutes and 14 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 7-0 here by the Tigers. And Tom, you bring up a couple great points. Not only did the Tigers gain control there with good offensive possessions, but they played good defense, and the Hawks couldn't get into the paint with that dribble penetration you spoke about.
Yeah, and you saw them. They were stopping them right at the top of the key is what they were doing. That's where the defense, to me, was the best that we saw from them. And what they were doing is they're making them shoot jump shots. And you know, in a big game, when you're going to make someone do jump shots right off the bat, you better make sure you're on because, you know, you got a little bit of pumped, you got a little bit of, energy going. They go a little bit too far. That's exactly what I want to do is to make sure I'm going to push you out and make you beat me by jump shots early.
And we're hopeful that's what the Hawks stress in this timeout. That's exactly what I would do. It's called fool's gold from downtown, especially when you are in a big environment like this. Got to get to the paint, get closer buckets, higher percentage looks. And then, obviously, you can work your offense from inside out. Let's see what they do on their baseline out-of-bounds opportunity.
It looks like they're just cleaning up the floor right now is what they're doing. But I'll tell you right now, if you're also Cardinal HARA, you got to say is, listen, we really haven't done what we've wanted to do. And this game still at least is close. They didn't make a big run on us early on. If we can come down right now, get ourselves a bucket, make it a 7-2 ball game. 5 points is nothing, as you know. So let's go ahead and just know there's no 7-point play out there. Let's slowly get back in this. Let's get our first bucket underneath our legs. And then what we'll do is we'll go in there and just keep building on that and get right back into this game.
And I think this delay may do a service for the Hawks to kind of settle down their nerves, get a better understanding and more clarity of what that game plan is coming from Coach Legge. You see him over there, talking to his players. Get them settled down. Plenty of time. It's early on, but you do have to nullify this run. And I remember this happening not only to me on the good end, but on the bad end as well. You get down early with a big deficit in these high element games. It's hard to claw back in. So let's see what the Hawks do.
I got a question for you because you've played also in the B-State Championship. Coached. But you've had a chance to coach at both championship games there. And really is when you get past this game, there's no difference between A and B. You're going down there to win a state championship, no matter what that letter is in front of that.
There's no question about it. Opportunity is opportunity. And no matter what happened early on in your seasons or how you ended it in that Class EA game, you have an opportunity tonight to advance to a state championship game. You got to do everything in your power to make it happen tonight. That's what both of these clubs have. Here they are, and the Tigers come out of the timeout, a little 2-3 zone. Here's Channing at the top of the key, swings it back to the right. Goldsmith back over to Channing. Doe really force them. There's an inside look, back out on the kick out, 5 on the shot clock, and they turn it over. Good defense there by the Tigers.
And that defense, again, look what it was doing. You saw, I love the way that movement was in the zone because they were helping each other at the top of the key and down low right there. But it was a wall right there for you to try to dribble through to get any sort of penetration. And that is exactly what Timon's doing right now out here today.
Good defense there by the Tigers again. Here they are at the offensive end, and a good post entry to number 12.
Any sort of penetration,
Sierra,
and that is exactly what Timon's doing right now out here today.
Bucket of the night. Good defense there by the Tigers again. Here they are at
There's
the offensive end,
the first
and
time,
a good
post
and can't connect, but his brother getting the offensive rebound. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2.
And that's what the first time we saw somebody turn the corner and get in the paint, and now you got a chance for points. It just shows how important that is, especially in a big game, to get down low and have a presence in the paint to be able to get some of the easier baskets.
And Tom, you saw that. It was a good dribble drive to the left side. It forced the defense to rotate, which then afforded him to get that good offensive position for that offensive rebound, and there he is sticking down 1 of 2. And the Hawks need the 2 brothers to get going. They are, averaging 10 a night with 8 rebounds, and the sophomore forwards averaging 13, so they need to get them going. But there's the Tigers at the other end of the floor, and the dribble drive and the easy lay-in by Patrick Hartz, the junior forward. Doe Bruce on the left wing, highly contested, trying to get it inside to his brother, and he turns it back over. There's Patrick Hart doing it at the defensive end and pushing it at the other end of the floor. Nice pass inside, and there he is in Sierra. Really good look there. And Patrick Hart doing it at both ends of the floor in the last 30 seconds. Joe Bruce over to Goldsmith. Joe Bruce. And there's Eli Channing at the top of the key. Joe Bruce is off the mark. And here come the Tigers back at the other end. Got a kick ball.
Tell you, also take a look at right now the scoring here for Timon. 4 guys have already scored inside this game. And you as a coach, think about right now what you're doing is you're not having to rely on that one person, and you're not worried about the other team making changes right now to shut down one guy. You can't shut down one guy. It's been multiple guys doing it.
And there they are again. Sarah again. His 4th bucket and an easy layup extends the lead to 13 with just under 2 minutes remaining here in the first. Here's Channing. They swing it inside. Good putt to the basket. Doe Bruce. Second chance opportunity. Misses. And here come the Tigers. Huff tries to get it over to Harris. That's deflected by Channing. They still maintain possession. 25 on the shot clock. And Sarah over to the right wing. There's a good cut to the basket, and Vasquez, the senior center, with a nice dive to the bucket, and it pushes the lead out to 15 with just over a minute remaining here in the first.
Big possession here for O'Hara. You've got to put points right now on the board. You can't fall any farther behind this early inside of a big game.
Tom, you couldn't be more right. And there they are inside the Doe Bruce. They got to get him going, and there he is with the left hand. Jordan Doe Bruce, the sophomore forward. Big bucket there and trims the lead to 13. 40 seconds remaining here in the first. There's good defense and a turnover by the Hawks. And Channing's fouled as he's dribbling over the timeline. That'll be the second team foul by the Tigers.
That last turnover, what do you always tell your bigs when they get down to the paint? Don't bring that ball down low. You bring that down low, that's when the steals happen. That's when people are swatting at the ball, and that's when the turnovers happen.
And that's exactly what happened. Here's Goldsmith inside there to Doe Bruce, and he's off the mark with close look. Can't convert. Here comes Harris. Set the offense here with 19 seconds remaining here in the first. And Sarah crossed. Nice swing pass and back inside, and that's blocked by Doe Bruce. 5 seconds remaining here. Harris, highly contested, forces a deep triple and off the backboard for 3 to close out the first quarter and extend the lead. 5 seconds remaining for the Tigers. Harris.
Come on, what are you doing that? He didn't
highly
yell
contested,
There's no
forces
way
a
on
deep
that
triple
one, right?
and off the
Boy, I'll tell you,
backboard
he was
for
going to
3.
make sure that shot got up, and that's when you know as a team it's going your way tonight. Boy, that is a huge quarter right there for Timon, and they really have come out on all cylinders so far.
And the banks were open late here in the first quarter with the lead 20 for the Tigers and 4 for the Hawks. We'll take a break here.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA, with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
Or an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs.
Welcome back to Western New York Athletics for the start of the second quarter. The Tigers 20, Hawks 4. Hawks with the first possession here in the second quarter, a crucial possession. Let's see if they can trim into this lead. And it's been a really stingy defense, Tom, by the Tigers here in the first quarter. There's Doe Bruce kicking it back out to the wing. Channing from downtown, and he bangs it. Eli Channing. He's an impressive young man. Hawks need to get him going, certainly, and he answers for the first possession here in the second quarter. Makes it 20-7. And now the Hawks extending in their half-court man-to-man defense. There's a good screen, and Harris misses the mid-range pull-up. Goldsmith with the defensive rebound, and he's fouled.
Great possession, last possession there by Cardinal HARA. That was textbook on how to beat one of the zones. Go down low with it, kick it back out, especially when that zone collapses. You're going to have a wide open 3 out there, and that was textbook exactly how to go ahead and beat a zone on that possession.
Well said, Tom. I think I'm going to have to make you one of my assistants so we don't lose sight of that when we play that good dribble drive and using that inside-out concept. So here's the Tigers with 25 seconds remaining on the shot clock. The Hawks extended their defensive pressure here in the second quarter and a little reach-in foul. Tigers will maintain possession with a fresh shot clock here. Baseline out-of-bounds opportunity.
But I'll tell you, it's not full in here yet, folks. But when we hit this second game, there will not be an empty seat out here. I'm going to tell you that right now. You want to tune in, listen, because it will be an absolute blast to be a part of that game.
And Tom's talking about the doubleheader we have here tonight. This is the Class B representative of Monsignor Martin. But in the Class A, we have a great rival in St. Joe's and Canisius. That's coming after this one. But let's look at this one as the Hawks. And a good defensive possession. They've come out here in the first minute and a half and look focused at both ends of the floor. Good execution and a conversion by Eli, and then they get the turnover there defensively. So good timeout there coming out as Coach Legge needs to get the Hawks team settled down and trim into this lead a little bit further. So here they come over the timeline. Channing looking for a screen, gets it over to Doe Bruce on the left wing. He dribbles on, kicks it over to Goldsmith. Good kick out there. And Alvarez from downtown, he misses, but Doe Bruce with the offensive rebound. And they got a push off here by number 11, Doe Bruce. So Jordan Doe Bruce with his first foul of the night.
Said he hooked him, I think is what he said right there. And the worst part is it was away from the play. That when you get those, that's one of the things that'll drive a coach nuts, as you know, when especially it's got nothing to do with the play or what happened out there, and that's the mistake you made because you did it right in front of the ref.
He sure did, and it cost them too because they had an easy stick back there on that offensive rebound. But there they are at the defensive end, and it's been good defensive pressure on the perimeter. They've picked up their tenacity, and another turnover there by the Tigers. So O'Hara, again, doing a good job defensively here. And let's see if they can convert at the other end. So Channing get directions from Coach Legge. Here he comes over to timeline with a high screen from Doe Bruce. Good dribble drive. And a nice move to the rim and converts. Cuts the lead to 11.
What a great dribble penetration. And then to be able to make sure nobody could block that shot the way he goes off the glass right there. What a great shot.
And they've come out with a quick 5-0 run to start this second quarter. And again, picking up their defensive pressure. And Tom, that's always the way you get back into the basketball game. You got to pick up your defensive pressure and you got to rebound the ball. But there's the Tigers answering with a big shot there. Quiets the storm and seizes that momentum that the Hawks had coming out here in the second quarter. Channing back inside to Doe Bruce. He turns it over. And that's gonna say that they grabbed Doe Bruce. So a reach-in foul by the Tigers. The Hawks will maintain possession underneath the basket.
That three right there was hit by Shea. That's the sixth player for Timon that's already scored here inside the first half. And you could see they're really spreading it out. It's not coming from one player. It's the true total team concept that's happening out there right now.
And you mentioned it earlier on, Tom. It's so hard to defend that. But there's the Hawks on a nice baseline out of bounds execution. Easy bucket. Trims that deficit back down to 12. Here they are in their full court pressure. Again, extending that. There's Goldsmith up top. Quick pass to the outside. The Tigers missed a deep triple. Harris gets it on the kick out. He misses. Vasquez tried to get that offensive rebound, but it's corralled by the Hawks and a quick run out. And they can't convert. They'll turn it back over, and the Tigers get a chance here with just under 5 minutes remaining to extend their 12-point lead.
What O'Hara has done also well inside this second quarter has been offensive and defensive rebounding. They got to stop that. You can't give Timon 3 chances.
And the Tigers miss an easy one there, but they get the rebound. It's on the baseline. It's going to stay here with the Tigers. And, Tom, you also mentioned early on about pace, and the pace and tempo has picked up, in particular here in this second quarter, and it's because of the defensive pressure by the Hawks, a little bit more sense of urgency on their end. And I think if they can play at that tempo a little bit more, it helps sustain and cut into this deficit a little bit further. So here they are back into their 2-3 zone on that baseline out-of-bounds defensive set. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock for the Tigers. Harris on the right wing, back to the top of the key. Back over to Harris on the right wing. The deep triple, and he converts from downtown. So he doesn't need the bank this time, Tom. And there's Harris for his second triple of the night.
And that's 8 for him. He's the leading scorer right now inside the game as well as for Timon right here. And he's been big. And I'll tell you, nothing bigger than that three-pointer that went off the backboard, though.
And he's such a tough young man, great young man that works so hard, averaging only 7 a night, and there he is. He's got 8 already, so stepping up big on a big night. And the Hawks with their second and third chance opportunity on the offensive glass, and Doe Bruce is finally fouled. He'll go back to the free throw line for 2.
And that's what I was talking about right there. You didn't see that in the first quarter. You didn't see them getting rebounds and second and third chance opportunities. You saw it happening for Timon, and that's one of the reasons for that lead. You know as well as I do, you win the boards, there's a good chance you can eat in any single game that you're in. You've got to go ahead and crash those boards and make sure that Timon's not getting those easy opportunities.
Tom keeps sharing that philosophical end. We call it dominating the paint at both ends of the floor. You've got to get to the paint offensively, whether it's dribble drive or with the post entries, and you can't let people get to the paint defensively. So, well said. We got a timeout after the 2 free throw conversions by the Hawks. They're down by 13 with just under 4 minutes remaining. We'll return back to the Western New York Athletics here in a moment.
Build your next connection. Earn your next internship. Crush your next goal. What will you do next?
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Welcome back on this Western New York Athletics feature. Class B representative here in the Monsignor Martin Conference. 13-point spread by the Tigers with just under 4 minutes remaining till half. And here they come with another offensive possession. The Hawks come in their man-to-man defense once again. So changing up defense is coming out of the timeout. And the Tigers, Harris misses a baseline jumper. Gets the offensive rebound, and we got a reach-in foul here by the Hawks. So the Tigers will maintain possession underneath their own basket. And Tom, again, the pace picked up early on in the second quarter, has kind of settled back down a little bit more in favor of the Tigers. And here they are with a fresh shot clock, looking to extend this 13-point lead. Harris. Over to Huff. Huff back over to Harris. And there's Hendricks. Huff to Hendricks. Back over to Harris. On the perimeter, under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Harris from the top of the key. Huff, good job by the Hawks, keeping it on the perimeter. Harris with the long three from the top of the key, and he can't convert. There's Goldsmith in transition. A nice pass. And they kick it back out. Channing. And he pulls it out, gets their offensive set balanced. And there's Alvarez to Doe Bruce. Channing having a tough time handling the ball. There are 10 seconds remaining. He drives a great pass inside. And there you are. Tommy Prince with the philosophical end, the dribble drive and the dump in, and the easy conversion cuts the lead to 11. So over 2 minutes remaining. And the Hawks trying to get this under double digits for the first time in a long time. Harris pulls up. Nice pass inside Vasquez, and he converts with a nice dribble drive, and the dump in by Harris pushes the lead back out to 13. He'll get a chance for an old school three-point play.
And what a great look down low, too. You could see he could have easily shot that, but he saw his teammate with a much better shot, did it down low, gets the assist. That's that old typical point guard that you want out on the floor general that's going to look for the best shot available, and that's exactly what he found out there on the floor.
And Tom, again, well said. These days, the point guards are trained a little bit differently to kind of score and a little bit more scorer's mentality, but very unselfish there. A great look, high percentage. Misses the three-point play, but again, a nice job by Harris. And so here they are with a 13-point lead with 2 minutes remaining. The Hawks, Doe Bruce, dribble drive, lefty kick out. And there's Alvarez. He's off the mark. And there's Hendricks with a nice push and transition, but they can't handle that, and they'll turn it back over to the Hawks. So a chance to extend that lead beyond 13, and they turn it back over. Here's Channing facing that full court pressure by the Tigers. He does a good job of getting it over the timeline. Goldsmith. Inside, high-low by the brothers. Doe Bruce to Doe Bruce. He does a good job of getting it over the timeline.
He's in double digits. That's 10 for him right there.
And Brian Doe Bruce. Inside, high-low by the brothers. Doe getting a nice assisted pass by his brother, but there's the Tigers at the other end of the floor. And Sarah, once again, he's in double digits here in the first half. And really nice job executing close to the rim. Another high percentage look for the Tigers. And there's Goldsmith. He pulls up on the left wing from downtown, just misses, and a good offensive rebound, and there's another good pass from brother to brother. This time it's Jordan Dobruce, the sophomore, converting with the left hand. Here we are with 45 seconds remaining, Tom. It's been a very entertaining first half, though, up and down at both ends. Harris inside. Good collapse there on the double team, but they'll draw a foul. Fresh shot clock here, so with 37 seconds remaining and a fresh shot clock, 2 seconds shot to game shot differential. And that's 1-1. I do forget, Tom, and it's changed with that. It's only 5 years for the 1-1, so there is no 1-1.
Yeah, just 2. They'll shoot 2 right away.
Jeez, my mind.
See all the things that change when you don't coach anymore?
Right, I'm telling you, coaching in the college and the pro ranks has changed that mindset. And at the high school level, when you do draw that 15 foul, it's an automatic 2. And Sarah makes 1 of 2, excuse me. And here's the Hawks with a chance to cut this deficit. And Channing with a strong shake to the rim. Draws contact and a chance for a 3-point play.
Boy, he's got
makes
another
1 of
gear
2,
to
excuse
him.
me.
When he wants to see that opening,
Here's
and
the
he
Hawks
sees that
with a
basket,
chance to
he attacks
cut
the
this
lane,
deficit.
and
And
that's really
Channing
what I
with a
love.
strong
He'll attack
shake
that lane
to the
right
rim.
To the basket, and it's almost
Draws
like that little window he gets. Watch out, because the explosion's going to happen.
You talk about that extra gear, and there's a lot of really good players. Rich tradition coming out of the Niagara Falls area. I have them some, few of them on my professional basketball team, and Channing comes out of the Niagara Falls area. So, yeah, he's a really electrifying player. And, again, cuts the deficit down to 9 for the first time tonight in single digits. It's been a long time, so the Tigers, here they are with 15 seconds remaining till halftime. Hendricks back on top to Harris. Harris to Hendricks on the right wing. He puts the ball on the floor. Back inside and a kick out. There he is. Hart's off the mark. And that's how we'll end the first half. The TIMON Tigers 31 and the Cardinal O'Hara Hawks 22. Tom, again, good pace. It started really quick, especially in that second quarter, kind of slowed down. But then we saw that those last 3 minutes really picked up, especially from the Hawks. What do you look for and what do you expect to see coming out in that second half?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Timon go back to that zone that we saw. That zone was so active early on, and it was cutting penetration into the paint. I think they're going to need to look to get back to that. The good news, though, Cardinal O'Hara, the reason why they were able to break that, though, was transition. You saw them with their rebounds, getting into transitions, getting very quickly out there, the wings taking off so that you can get into one-on-one matchups or an open matchup right to the rim. That's going to be the difference is keep attacking the boards. Do what you did in the second quarter for Cardinal O'Hara. You got to carry that into the second half. And it's the same thing for Timon. You got to go back to the things that got you the lead in the first place. That's attacking the boards, and that was doing everything low down in the paint. All their positive has happened inside the paint. And you saw every single time, whether it was a dump down low or a one-on-one matchup, they scored when they were standing in that paint.
TIMON Tigers 31, Cardinal O'Hara Hawks 22. We'll be back after our halftime show in just a moment on the Western New York Athletics Show.
I choose this MOS because I like to work on things, have hands-on.
Track is very important to the Army because it's a very versatile and just modular platform. There's several different variants, and that allows this one vehicle to do several different missions, and it's very important to support just the light infantry and their mission.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve.
You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals.
If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
Choose the twos. Get the help you deserve.
Build your next connection. Earn your next internship. Crush your next goal. What will you do next?
Look, Patriot account is not going to close itself. Looks like you're going to be here late again. I need this by morning.
Oh no, not again. My son has a football game tonight.
WNYAthletics.com. You can link me later.
WNYAthletics. Your home for high school sports.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Western New York Athletics halftime show here for the Class B Monsignor Martin Championship. And I'm going to turn it over to my partner in crime here, Tom Prince. Tom, you have a few scores that you'd like to share, please?
Yeah, so right now our leading scores, let's start with Timon. And Sarah leads the way. He's got 9 points in this one. Harris has 8. You got 5 for Huff, 4 for Vasquez, 3 for Shea, and 2 for Hart. And there's your 31 points right there for Timon. And look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 different guys that scored inside the first half of Timon.
Number 11,
Harris had 3
Jason.
scores. That's it inside this game.
What a
10
4-0
for
lead.
Brian,
5 minutes remaining here in this first quarter.
4 for Jordan Dobruce, and then Cheney's got 8 points himself.
There's a long
so there's your
three
right
from
there.
down.
Any sort of penetration, and that is exactly what Timon's doing right now out here. What stands out is the 6 versus 3 right there, because you know as well as I do, it is very hard to rely on. You can't fall any farther behind this early inside of a big Who's game. Who's going to be the guys that step up?
Tom, you couldn't be more right. There they are inside the Dobruce. They got to get him going, and there he is with the left.
You can't fall any farther behind this early inside of a big game.
When you have 6 or 7 guys that are converting at the offensive end, it's very hard to defend that. We've mentioned that numerous times. Tom, you shared some of the stat lines, and outside of just the scoring end, you brought up a good point. The Timon Tigers went to that 2-3 zone early on, which I believe stifled the Hawks and allowed them to jump out to that 7-0 lead. And once they settled down and the Tigers came out of that, went into their man-to-man, it looked like the Hawks were a little bit more comfortable converting and executing against that type of look. So we'll see what the halftime adjustments are with both teams. The Hawks cannot afford in these first 4 minutes to allow a big run by the Tigers.
I agree with that 100%. Here's something else to look at, too. 4 3-pointers by Timon, 1 by Cardinal O'Hara. The inside-out game for Timon has really worked as well. we've seen dump down low. If it's not there, the kick out that happens. And that's what we talked about in how you beat a zone. In fact, the 1-3 for Cardinal HARA was the time they hit the 3 right there, beating the zone. So this will be something to see as the game plays out in the second half, all those different things that are right now applying to what that lead right now is for Timon.
And as we move forward into this start of the second half, we'll rejoin you here in a moment on the Western New York Athletics Show.
I choose this MOS because I like to work on things, have hands-on.
Striker is very important to the Army because it's a very versatile and just modular platform. There's several different variants, and that allows this one vehicle to do several different missions, and it's very important to support just the light infantry and their mission.
Welcome back to our halftime show as we close it out here. 10 seconds until the start of the second half and this Class B Monsignor Martin Championship. Timon Tigers with a 9-point lead. They'll get the first offensive opportunity to start the second half. And Huff inbounds the ball to Harris as we start the second half of this championship game. And there's Hart. Hart kicking it to the right wing, back up top to Harris. Harris from downtown. And there's his third triple of the night. Open up the scoring of the game, and he opens up the scoring in the second half. Channing, good, strong dribble drive. Little bit of contact, but no foul. Ball tipped out of bounds by the Tigers.
Coach, you see the difference in the zones right there? See how far apart the guys up at the top of the key were right there? Did you see, because they were so far apart, how easy it was for them to dribble around one and get into the paint? Because it was almost like it was a one-on-one matchup instead of the zone where you're helping each other out there. So you got to make sure that zone is a little bit closer out there to stop the penetration.
And again, they've been getting to the teeth of the zone, right, to the middle of it, and it's been forcing the defense to collapse, allowing the shooters to feel nice and comfortable, and Harris certainly was. There's another long triple. This time it's off the mark. Offensive rebound, Harris again. And boy, Marquise Harris, the sophomore. Nice and comfortable, with another Harris triple, and there's another long triple again by the Hawks. This time it's
Here
off
come
the mark.
Tigers in transition.
Offensive rebound, Harris
Kick back
again.
out.
And boy,
Yeah, we got a
Marquise
contact
Harris here by the Hawks defensively. That's a reach-in foul by number 2 of Eli Channing. And so the Tigers with a strong start here in the second half. First 2 minutes have pushed this lead back out to 15. Excuse me.
You could say Harris really off to the fast start with 6 points himself right here. He's got 14 right now inside this game.
And here he is, kicking it over to the left wing. And there's Hart with a strong dribble drive. He's blocked, but it gets the rebound, and they miss a baseline triple. Hart again. Harris in the paint, and there he is with a little bit of patience and a pull-up. Marquise Harris has taken over the game here in the second half for the Timon Tigers. All the scoring to start the half. Biggest lead of the game here for the Tigers is 17, and the Hawks. And Tom, I can't tell you how crucial the first 4 minutes are of creating and dictating the tempo for the rest of the game, and that's exactly what's happened here. The Hawks come out really flat. Tigers come out really energized, and they've pushed this lead back out to 17. And there's another missed shot by the Hawks, but Eli Channing grabs it on the steal and converts with the left-handed layup, and they needed that, so Channing.
And how do you do it? You get defense to lead to the offense, especially when things are struggling. But I'll tell you, so far, Timon has mimicked what they did inside that first quarter. They're doing great on the rebounds. You see what they're doing on the rebounds? But this is big right here for O'Hara.
And Channing at the other end gets another steal, and he's fouled at the other end of the floor. So the Hawks got down early here in the second half, but two nice plays by Eli Channing, and here he goes. He goes to the free throw line, trying to cut this deficit to 13.
But like what I was making that comment over there, when you're going to give a team 2, 3, 4 chances to go ahead and put a second chance opportunity up there, those teams are going to win all the time. You've got to make sure you're keeping them off the glass right now. But you can just see it doesn't matter where. Timon, when they're on offense, outside of those last 2 steals, when they actually get into dribble penetration, they're getting far into the paint. And that's really why this has been so successful so far here inside the second half.
And Channing misses both. Something they could ill afford to happen, but here they are, down by 15 with 5.5 minutes remaining. And there's Insera. Top of the key, and Vasquez turns the basketball over. And the Hawks will get it back here.
Tell you, Chaney 2.4 steals per game, and I'll tell you, he's looking almost had 3 in a row right there in 3 different possessions.
Channing at the top of the key, good defense there, swings it over to Doe Bruce, the left-hand jumper, and knocks it down from 15 feet. Trims the deficit to 13 with just over 5 minutes remaining here in the third. Harris to Vasquez. Vasquez over to Hartz to Insera. Insera's off the mark. There's another offensive rebound, Tom. And they don't convert this time, but there's a push in the back. And it's going to stay here with the Tigers.
And that would have been another rebound right there. You could see it. That's so no, they're actually going to say it was against Timon right there.
Check that. They do have an the push in the back there by the Tigers on that offensive rebound. Here they are in their full court pressure, and great hands there by the Tigers. They turn it over, and Doe Bruce has to reach in as Vasquez was looking to push it at the other end of the floor. And they certainly had some numbers, so not a bad foul. But again, a costly turnover, Tom. And Again, you can ill afford to do that when you're down by 13. Every offensive possession is crucial. You need a shot at least at the rim. And the Hawks don't get it there, and they're going to have to dig in defensively to claw back into this game. Step through and Huff. Good defense there by the Hawks on the jump ball, and there's another turnover there by the Tigers. So a couple good defensive possessions here by the Hawks. But they have to have the ability to convert at the other end, especially when you're down by 13. There's Channing up the left wing. Getting the offensive set here for the Hawks. Dumps it inside to Doe Bruce. Doe Bruce at the top of the key. Gets the foul line extended, kicks it out. Back inside to Doe Bruce. Left-handed baby hook and a nice move. Good inside out. And a nice post entry there by Alvarez. Down to 11 with over 4 minutes remaining.
That's a nice turnaround right there in the paint. That's almost unstoppable right there, especially with the way he went with that opposite hand in that turnaround.
And he's got some nice length at the rim, too. So, again, nice footwork and a good post entry. So, getting that ball inside has been the key for both clubs. There's a pull-up jumper. That misses, and there's Goldsmith. Channing on the run out and converts at the other end and cuts the deficit back down to 9. And a timeout here by the Timon Tigers. 39-30 with 3 minutes and 47 seconds remaining. We'll take a break here on the Western New York Athletics.
I choose this MOS because I like to work on things, have hands-on.
Striker is very important to the Army because it's a very versatile and just modular platform. There's several different variants, and that allows this one vehicle to do several different missions, and it's very important to support just the light infantry and their mission.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Welcome back on the Western New York Athletics Network. Class B finals here. The Timon Tigers 39 and the Cardinal O'Hara Hawks 30. Really good pace and flow to this game. A veteran-laden officiating crew led by my backcourt teammates, high school teammate back in the day, Jeff Kupka. So here we are once again, 39-30. Eli Channing, good hands at the defensive end of the floor. He's been very active at both ends, Tom. Been really good player. But they're going to need more of him, and they're going to need more of the Doe Bruce brothers if they're going to find a way to have some success here in this Class B final. There's a dribble drive and a kick out. That's off the mark. Channing with the rebound. He's pushing the ball in transition. Kick outs to Goldsmith. Goldsmith with the long three. He misses, but Doe Bruce with the offensive rebound. Kicks it back to the top of the key. Channing getting the offensive set. Doe Bruce back to the top. High-low action with his brother. Channing on the right wing. Pushes the ball to the elbow. Goldsmith from downtown, and he misses. Good rebound there by Vasquez. Tigers quickly up the floor. Huff. A little out of control there, but gains the offensive rebound. There's Harris. Pull-up jumper from 5 feet. Can't stick it, but there's the offensive rebound there by Vasquez, and the senior center has been really active at both ends of the floor on crashing the glass, and he'll get a chance to extend this lead back to double digits.
And to be only the second player to score inside the second half for Timon, because it's been all Harris. He's got 8. The rest of the team hasn't scored yet, so this is the first opportunity for somebody to score outside of Harris for Timon right now.
And that complexion has changed, so they were really orientated on spreading the wealth in that first half. Obviously, Harris has taken a really good looks at the basket, high percentage looks off of good ball reversals or kickouts, and so even though it's been one dimension, it's still been very productive at the offensive end for the Tigers. So Vasquez knocks down 1 of 2. And for the first time tonight, number 24, Jack Shea, junior guard, checks into the basketball game for the Tigers. There they are in their 2-2-1 defensive pressure. Good job by the Hawks breaking that pressure. And Channing getting the offensive set. Get some direction by Coach Legge. High screen and roll action. On-ball screen by Doe Bruce. Channing turns the basketball over. Huff. Really good hands, and they got a reach-in foul prior to him putting that shot up to the rim. So the Tigers will take the ball on a baseline out-of-bounds opportunity with just over 2 minutes remaining here.
That's the 4th foul, though, against Cardinal O'Hara. So what's something to watch out for? Shooting the rest of the way will be Timon.
Way to keep me on my toes, Tom, with that ruling, boy, in the high school ranks. So, yes, one more will give you an automatic 2. So the Tigers, the 25 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Really good hands there by the Hawks defensively. Harris, though, gets it on the kick out. He's a little bit short. Rebound there by Hart. Hart kicks it back out. Huff to Harris. Harris to Shea. Shea to Harris. Good screen by Shea, and Harris gets to his spot but can't convert on the pull-up jumper. But the ball will still stay here with the Tigers, so good hands here. And, you know, again, Tom, a way to get back into a basketball game is not only have good defensive pressure, but you got to close out the defensive possession by getting a rebound. They haven't done that, and that can be deflating at times. So a 10-point spread, minute 46 seconds remaining, and a fresh shot clock. So to me, this is a big defensive possession here for the Hawks. Harris to Huff. Getting a screen by Shea. Huff. And there's And Sarah off the mark. And so there's the defensive rebound we were talking about. Channing with an opportunity to trim this deficit back under double digits with just over a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Doe Bruce, good high-low, trying to get it inside to his brother. Big, strong shoulders, and he finishes at the rim. And a quick timeout by Coach with just over a minute remaining here in the third quarter. A minute Doe Bruce, remaining. We'll take a good high-low, trying to get it inside to his brother. Big, strong shoulders.
Logistics Plus is a global transportation provider headquartered in Erie, PA with locations worldwide, including right here in Western New York. Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics.
For an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs, more information about our Buffalo office is available at logisticsplus.com/Buffalo.
Welcome back to this Class B championship representative opportunity to send them to a state championship game. The Timon Tigers with an 8-point lead, and this is the closest the Hawks have been since midway of the first quarter. The Tigers with the first offensive possession here, and there's a travel there and a good call there by Jeff Kupka. Vasquez turns it over in the paint.
And did you notice Vasquez comes back in right after they gave up that offensive rebound opportunity right there, and he went right to the scorer's table right after that.
And Goldsmith quickly at the other end, but can't quite convert, but there's a steal. Inside, Channing with the left hand. He's fouled, and a chance for old school three-point play. The Hawks quickly at the other end, but in the third quarter can't quite convert. But there's a steal. Inside, Channing with the left hand. He's fouled, and a chance for so far tonight. You have to dig in defensively. You have to have the ability to rebound. They did it both times there, and here's Channing looking to trim this deficit to 5.
Between Channing and Alvarez, both of them with steals right now that really has gotten them back into this game.
And Gino Alvarez, yes, the freshman guard, had the steal there, kicked it over to Channing, and a nice assist by him. So the Tigers under a little bit of pressure, but Huff from downtown, they can't convert. It looked like it went off the Tigers, but it'll stay here.
I agree with you. I thought it went off them too, but he was very emphatic right there, the ref. And when you see they're that emphatic, means they had a better look than probably where we did over here at the scores table.
And Tom, we talked about a veteran-laden crew. It's been a great flow. You're not going to agree with every call, especially as a coach, but you respect what they do out there and how it's happening. So
absolutely.
Here they are, the Tigers, with 15 seconds remaining. Oh, Channing just misses a steal across there, but they got a foul inside on the Hawks, and looked like one of the players there for the Tigers was camped inside. I thought he had a 3-second violation, but Huff's going to get an opportunity here with 12 seconds remaining.
Not a bad foul though, because that was going to be an easy 2 points right underneath.
And there's Huff knocking down the first of 2.
So just to let you know, outside of free throws by Huff and Vasquez, nobody scored a bucket outside of Harris for Timon inside the third quarter.
So again, the Hawks have picked it up defensively and have limited some of those opportunities from some of the Tigers that produced in the first half. And there's Doe Bruce missing the wing jumper, and that'll close out the third quarter. 41 for the Timon Tigers and 35 for the Cardinal O'Hara Hawks. We'll return back for a big fourth quarter here on the Western New York Athletics Network.
choose the twos. Get the help you deserve.
Explore your next idea. Blaze new trails. Imagine new ways to do things. What will you do next?
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Welcome back to this Class B Monsignor Martin representative opportunity. I'm alongside my partner Tom Prince. Start of the fourth quarter. The Tigers are up by 6, and Tom, it's been a really good, strong 3 quarters. Timon Tigers have taken a stranglehold early on in the basketball game. They did the same thing to start the second half, and yet the Hawks have responded both times. And here they are, the Tigers. With 15 seconds, good ball pressure by Chaney. Vasquez with a good, strong screen, but he's blocked at the rim. Another chance. Sarah inside. He's blocked, but he's fouled. And again, those second and third chance opportunities really have depleted some of the good defensive possessions that the Hawks have had. So here he is, number 12, Sarah, who was really, really electric there in that first half and has kind of been quiet here in the second half. Here's his first opportunity at the offensive end. And knocks down the first of 2, Tom.
Yeah, he had 9 in the first half. Now that's his 10th point right there. So he gets himself into double digits with that free throw.
And there's the second of 2. And there they are in their 2-2-1 press. And the Hawks turn it over. Very careless on there. There's a 2-on-1 break, and Sarah from hard on the 2-on-1 break, and he goes back to the free throw line for a 3-point play. Press, and the Hawks turn
First
it over.
quarter,
very,
like you said, all
careless
time.
on there. There's
Second
a 2-on-1 break,
O'Hara.
and Sarah from hard on the 2-on-1.
Timon. Second half, Cardinal O'Hara. Now we're going back to right now the run here by Timon. The question is, do we still see one more run from Cardinal O'Hara?
And you see, the game of basketball is a game of runs. We always talk about who's going to make the last run, though. And it's been back and forth. A quick early spurt here by the Tigers have extended the lead back out to 9. But Goldsmith at the other end of the floor cuts the deficit to 8 with 7 minutes remaining here in this basketball game. Harris, defended by Chaney. He's doing a good job of staying square. Ooh, and a little reaching foul. Didn't need him because he had Harris under pressure.
Boy, I like this matchup, though. It's a fun matchup to watch, especially both of these two one-on-one. Defense, dribbling, everything. We've seen both of these two be very successful. Watch out. That's the third foul for Cardinal O'Hara with 6:50 still left.
And Sarah with another bucket.
Huff was that
Excuse me, check that. That was Huff. Thank you, Tom. Huff with his first bucket of the second half pushes the lead back out to double digits. And here's the Hawks with a little high-low action from Doe Bruce brothers. Chaney misses the triple from downtown. Goldsmith, though, gathers the offensive rebound, and he's fouled on the baseline. So the Hawks will maintain possession with a fresh shot clock. 6 minutes and 21 seconds remaining here. And the Tigers maintain a 10-point lead. So back and forth it's been. The deficit was down to 5. And again, a quick spurt by the Tigers here to start the fourth quarter.
That last shot by Goldsmith that he made was the first shot outside of Chaney and the two Bruces so far for the team.
And they need a little bit from Goldsmith. He's played a pretty good basketball game at both ends. But there they are again, another careless turnover. Again, can ill afford for that to occur, especially as we get in the later stages of this fourth quarter. And here the Tigers. They tried to run a little Iverson curl action, but good bump on the screen there by the Hawks defensively, and there's a turnover there by the Tigers. So here's their chance to get this back under double digits. Alvarez will inbound the basketball for the Hawks. And he kicks it into Channing. Here they are in their 2-2-1 full court pressure. Good job of getting to the middle of the floor by Alvarez. Bruce to his brother, and again, they can't handle the basketball, but it's tipped out of bounds. So with 24 seconds remaining on the shot clock, Tom, the Hawks with a chance to convert, and they need something. The well's been dry here as they started the fourth quarter.
Tell you got to give both of these coaches credit inside this game. You look at the scores the first two times these guys have played. 84-50, 65-59. Look at our score right now, 47-37 with 5 minutes. That talks to you about the defensive adjustments that both of these coaches have made and the defense that has stepped up inside this game on how different it was during the season.
Yes, and the attention to detail has been really good by both of these clubs as they're approaching the evening. And there's Harris one more time, converting. And there they are again, turning the basketball over. Great hustle there by Sarah. Is he diving out of bounds? But the Hawks will get the ball out of bounds here at the offensive end. 32 seconds on the shot clock. They're down by 12. And they need to convert here as, again, the Tigers have been very efficient offensively here to start this fourth quarter. And there's a nice dive cut there by Channing and the left hand. And again, another chance by Elijah Channing. A three-point play, something they desperately needed, Tom.
He's got 17 right now as well. So he's been big. He's got 8 in the first half, and he's got 9 right now in the second half.
This is on the free throw stripe, but Bruce gathers the offensive rebound. They kick it back out to Channing. He gets the offensive set. Bruce over to Alvarez. The Tigers been very active defensively, their hands and their deflections. And again, they went back to that 2-3 zone at various times. One that you mentioned was very successful in the first half, and it's held true here in the second as well. Good pass into that teeth of the defense. That comes off the rim, though, for the Hawks, and the Tigers gather the rebound with a 10-point lead as we hit the 4.5-minute mark. Huff, that was. Check that. Harris and Sarah on a nice high-low action off that back screen, and then Sarah converts once again. There he is at the defensive end getting his hands on the basketball, and Harris gets the steal. Huff getting the offensive set. And Sarah with a rip through. There's Hart. Strong take to the basket, and he converts off 2 feet. Pushes the lead out to 14. And a big 4 minutes here to start this fourth quarter for the TIMON Tigers. Goldsmith misses the baseline mid-range jumper. Here comes Harris in transition, understanding the situation. A heady point guard as a sophomore. Boy, does Coach Gallo like that.
Great call right there. Don't force things. Don't give any momentum back over to Cardinal O'Hara. I agree. What a great job right there. That's a veteran call.
Exhausting the shot clock. Trying to get the ball inside. Here's Huff at the top of the key. They're under 5 seconds remaining. In Sarah from downtown. Misses, but they get the offensive rebound, and there's Harris trying to get it back outside. They missed the baseline triple, but in Sarah with the offensive rebound on the weak side, and a quick timeout after the 2-point conversion by Insera. Push the lead to 16. We'll take a timeout here on the Western New York Athletics Network.
At Richmond Vona, we are seriously dedicated to bettering the communities that we serve. You will get super high level communication, and you are getting a team of dedicated attorneys, paralegals. If you put your trust in us and hire us, we promise to take care of everything. Call us as soon as possible so we can start the investigation to fight to get you the settlement you deserve.
Need an electrician? Empire Electric is your residential wiring specialist. New builds, service upgrades, lighting, generators, you name it, Empire does it with hundreds of 5-star reviews that speak for themselves. Call Empire Electric today for your free estimate.
Welcome back on the Western New York Athletics Network here, and we're in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. And Tom, a really, really strong start to this fourth quarter for the TIMON Tigers. There's been numerous reasons why, but Marcus Harris certainly in Sierra's gone on a really strong run here in the first 3 minutes, and it's all been predicated on their strong defensive tenacity and pressure.
Defense, and I'm going to also add rebounding to that too, because that second and third chance opportunities were just too much.
And they were doing that at the offensive end, and that's really depleting to a team when you play good defense and have a chance to get a defensive rebound and you don't. But there's the Hawks not giving up here. There's still time on the clock. They miss, but Doe Bruce, the senior forward, goes to the line with a chance for the three-point play.
That's 14 right now for him.
And he knocks down that three-point chance opportunity, cuts the deficit to 13 with just under 3 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Tough. Good job by the Tigers handling the defensive pressure. Goldsmith pressuring Huff. Good screen by Vasquez, but they miss on the pull-up jumper. Here comes Doe Bruce. Swings it over to Chaney. Elijah Chaney. Dribble drive. He's stripped by Harris. And there he is with a nice pass to his teammate Huff, and they convert on the 3-on-1 break. Marcus Harris having a strong night at both ends of the floor and playing really heady, understanding situational basketball late in this game.
That's his 10th point right there, so he's in double digits himself.
And there he is again with those active hands. Causing a jump ball. It'll stay here with the Hawks, but boy, you like when your point guard not only understands what to do offensively, but gives a lot of great effort and tenacity at the defensive end, and he's provided that tonight for the Tigers. Chaney. Doe Bruce with a strong dribble drive. He misses on the right side, but his brother crashes the weak side glass and puts it back in and cuts the deficit to 13. The Hawks are going to have to get up with a little bit more sense of urgency here defensively, and here they are. Goldsmith on the ball. Huff to Harris. They get it over the timeline. Hart gets a screen from Insera. To Vasquez. Vasquez to Huff. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Huff off 2 feet, and the jump stop conversion. And the TIMON Tigers are smelling it now. And looks like they're going to have an opportunity to represent the Class B in the Monsignor Martin this Sunday at the ECC Bert Flickinger Center. We're under 1 minute remaining here. Double team up top by the Hawks. There's Hart with a baseline three. And he misses. Vasquez with the offensive rebound. He was blocked out of bounds by Doe Bruce, but he was fouled at the rim. And under 1 minute remaining here, Tom, and the TIMON Tigers, a lot to be proud of. An opportunity to represent the Class B in the state representative game. And again, when you can seize an opportunity on maybe your season didn't go as well as you had hoped, but yet you still get an opportunity to close out and an opportunity at a state championship, lot to look forward to.
Yeah, and I'm going to give this Cardinal HARA team tons of credit. You look at this record, too, the record being 4-18 on the season. You would think that they weren't a really good team. They really are a good team in a very tough division out there. And they're showing it out here tonight, taking on one of the other really good teams in Monsignor Martin, and really gave it a run. This game was tight all the way into the fourth quarter right there. You've got to give Cardinal HARA tons of credit.
Make no mistake, it's been a highly contested contest. Great effort by the Cardinal HARA Hawks. They made numerous runs to make this a close basketball game, but just a little bit too much by the Tigers here at the end. And here they are still playing. There's a good pass. Vasquez missed, Alvarez misses, but there's Goldsmith with the putback. A quick timeout by the Hawks. Down by 13 with 26 ticks on the clock. So with 26 seconds remaining, a quick timeout by the Hawks. Just it looked more like a substitutional timeout. And the Tigers insert a few bodies that are getting a chance to play. And there's a strong dribble drive by, if I can get the number here, I'm trying to get the number 15 there, as that's Ahmad Ray Jr., the junior guard, just inserted into the basketball game for the first time, and he gets an opportunity to put his name into the scorebook.
It's funny, the timeout they said was Cardinal O'Hara, but it was Timon to make the substitutions right there.
It was.
I think that's what got us all confused right there, exactly who had that timeout and what was going on.
So congratulations to both of these programs. It's been a highly contested contest, very entertaining in the Monsignor Martin Class B championship game here. And again, the Timon Tigers, an opportunity to represent and, play for a ring, Tom. And anytime that's again, it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season, what your record is. When you get to the playoffs, everybody's 0-0. And here they are with a chance this Sunday right here in Buffalo at ECC Burt Flickinger Center. And those fond memories for me a few years back, that's where we won the state championship a few years ago.
And in fact, I think it's Jake Fyock and I will be on the call for that one as well.
You guys were on that same call when it was my game, so I haven't forgotten. So congratulations, a great basketball game, entertaining by both clubs. The Timon Tigers and Jason Rowe, we will see them Sunday at the ECC Burt Flickinger Center for their opportunity to play for a state championship. 61-46 was the final score. Alongside my partner in crime, Tom Prince, who's done a great job. We get a chance to do it one more time in the evening doubleheader. Great excitement ahead of us. And certainly our man to our left, all the way down to the left, Francis. Great job by everybody involved. We'll see you on the Western New York Athletics Network in a few moments.